Tip it off here in Bramlage as the Wildcats make their way from the locker room. And let's take a look at our starting lineups brought to you by Pepsi. Jamar Samuels, we were just told, has been suspended for a violation of team rules for the first 3 games, including today's action. So the freshman Thomas Gibson will start at the 4 spot. Here's head coach Frank Martin. 95 wins in the last 4 years, the winningest 4-year stretch in K-State history. And for Fort Hays State, coming off a 26-7 season a year ago, there's a look at their starters for head coach Mark Johnson in his 11th season. And we're underway as K-State controls the tip, but tipped out of bounds, and the Tigers will have first possession. Their backcourt led by Kendrick Morse, a 5'8 junior out of Chicago. He wears number 3 and will be the point guard for Mark Johnson's team. And stand this backcourt with Morse and McDade, a couple of guys who played together at Sheridan College and then transferred into the program this year.
That's one advantage that they have, is that they played together, but the disadvantage is they've not played for Fort Hays State, and that Fort Hays State is working so many new players in. Head coach Mark Johnson's club has been to the Division II NCAA tournament the last 2 years, but almost every player that played last year is not available. They've graduated, or you've got injuries and issues like that. So it's a brand new team here for the Tigers.
Enriquez at the top as Spradling got the start at the point. Here's Martavius Irving with the drive, got it blocked inside. Here's Gibson, floats it in. The first 2 of the season for the freshman out of Cedar Hill, Texas.
Good way to get started. K-State playing that patented man-to-man, and there's a lot of pressure in the passing lanes again, which Kansas State has normally done. They went away from that a little bit last year, but they're now back at what Frank Martin wants to do on defense.
This is Matt Simmons looking for a handoff with the shot clock into single digits. Morse got it back with 5 to shoot. His runner won't go. Yarbrough with the rebound, and he's fouled going up inside on Gibson and Henriquez.
Thomas Gibson getting a start today. And this time he fouls on the arm of another big guy. Marcus Yarbrough has made a couple of good plays. He blocked a shot on the defensive end, and there on the offside rebound gets a chance to go to the free throw line.
And Yarbrough misses the first. He's a 6'8 junior out of Chicago. Transfer from Kilgore Junior College down in Texas, which has produced quite a few Division I players, and he gets the Tigers on the board.
He's got the size to fight K-State inside. A lot of times when you get a Division II opponent, that's the thing that they don't have, the physicality on the inside, but he's ready to put up a battle.
Enriquez to the left hand. Good job of rebounding by the Tigers, and they get it in the hands of their quick point guard. But he loses the handle, picked up inside by Yarbrough. Nice no-look pass, but the 7-footer Henriquez is there.
Lance Russell trying to get the shot up after the good pass. The ball's fumbled around for a little bit. Nice pass, but having the eraser on the inside makes you much better. Magruder gets down and with Enriquez to block the shot.
Into Lance Russell, who they're expecting big things from. Dumped inside to Yarbrough. Nice move over the top with the pump fake against Henriquez, and the Tigers go up 3-2.
Oftentimes, you don't know if you're going to feel comfortable first time out in real action, and I'll say Marcus Yarbrough, he looks comfortable early for Fort Hays State.
Gibson has it knocked away by Simmons, gets it back. All alone, Rodney Magruder. Enriquez fights his way up, and he'll earn a trip to the line with the foul on Yarbrough. Let's take a look at our keys to victory today, Stan, from the Kansas Lottery.
It starts with leadership. Who's going to step up and really control this basketball team? Jacob Poland is no longer there. You would expect Will Spradling, Rodney Magruder, and Jamar Samuels to show that leadership, but we've seen a fumble there by Jamar already, experimentation. They're going to use all kinds of lineups. Today's the day to try to figure out what combinations do you want to use? What skills do the players have in actual action? And the last thing is play defense, because if you want to earn minutes for Frank Martin, you better play well on defense.
Get a look at Karan McKenzie, senior from Staten Island, New York, checking in for Fort Hays State. Henriquez back at the line. And a 53% free throw shooter a year ago, gets 1 of 2, and we're tied at 3.
Good movement of the basketball here by Fort Hays State. They're a team that will run plays, but they don't have many of the plays in right now. They have so many new guys that they've had to implement their offense a little slower than they'd like to.
Simmons missing inside. Irving with the rebound. Back pick for Henriquez. Spradling at the top. Buries the 3.
It takes talent right there to set the pick and set a good pick and wait for the player to pass and then back up, catch, and shoot the ball all in rhythm. Will Spradling, nice shot.
Spradling had that great experience playing overseas this summer with Athletes in Action and was actually the MVP of that tournament as Russell answers with the 3 of his own for Fort Hays State.
He learned a lot playing against older guys, and over there the officials just let you tackle each other. It is so physical, and it really helped him get ready for this basketball season.
Frank Martin talked about how aggressive he was when he returned to summer workouts. As Gibson shows his touch. The lefty has 4 early for K-State, and the Cats regain the lead. Good ball pressure here by Spradling. Morse trying to keep it alive, puts up a tough shot, and Gibson clears the glass.
Thomas Gibson's made some good plays, but he's pretty tired right now.
Henriquez back to Gibson, and a foul inside on Matt Simmons. As we'll get our first look at Adrian Diaz, a freshman who will check in, along with Shane Southwell and Victor Ojale. Here's a look at the 3.
And watch the back pick, slip, pop. That is excellent offense by Will Spradling. Before Sean Breiling can get to him, he's already got the shot off and knocks down the 3.
Spradling will trigger it in. His target Diaz, the 6'10 freshman from Miami. And a whistle inside again on Fort Hays State. This will be on McKenzie, his first.
Holding on the cut.
The Tigers picked 3rd in the MIAA preseason poll after finishing 2nd last year during the regular season and then winning the tournament. And Spradling is 2 for 2.
There's different levels of shooting. One is when you get a step into a shot and you go inside out. And guys' percentages go up when they're shooting outside shots. But when you can go away from the basket, cut away from the basket, catch, turn, square up, and score quickly, that's a whole nother level of offense. And Will Spradling's shown that.
Diaz with the block. Southwell hustles it up the floor. Spradling calls for it, steps into a 3, and that one was off target.
Good rebound by Matt Simmons. That time keeping the Wildcats away from the ball.
Simmons up top, swings it over to McKenzie, who averaged 7.5 a year ago. One of the only veterans really left on this team for Mark Johnson. Southwell after the McDade miss. Spradling all alone. Tough luck there. Magruder, one of the better offensive rebounders in the Big 12 a year ago, misses the easy putback. And that'll send us to break. But it's Spradling off to a quick start for the Wildcats, and they lead it up by 4.
So?
It's only one Diet Mountain Dew left.
Love the taste of Diet Dew. Brace you for it.
We could do that.
Hold on! The whole thing!
Bring it! Diet Mountain Dew. Diet tastes better on the mountain.
This tastes so good!
Show off!
When looking for a quality pizza, you need a place that makes everything from scratch, using fresh ingredients, 100% real mozzarella. And if you can grab a lotto ticket while you're there, well, lucky you. Casey's General Store, a convenience store and a whole lot more. Right now, you can get any large specialty pizza for just $13.99.
It's time. Let's do this. Great.
Sorry.
FX has the movies. FX has the movies. FX has the movies. FX has the movies.
Damn, I'm good.
Has the
You ever have a song stuck in your head? It's like you can't help singing. It's like repeats itself, repeats itself, repeats itself.
Say it. Facts. Go get to that.
I'm saying rise up! And bombs away.
FX has the movies. FX has the movies.
Wildcats lead it by 4, Stan, as we look at the freshman Thomas Gibson.
Thomas Gibson gets the first points of the Wildcat season this year, and then he comes back and makes a nice move to his right shoulder, throws the ball in. He's 2 for 2 shooting a basketball now.
Gibson, not a huge scorer in high school, averaging 15 points a game, but he was on a great team down there in Cedar Hill, Texas, a team that went 33-4 during his senior year. And now we'll get our first look at the freshman point guard from Miami, Angel Rodriguez, who wears number 13, who is checked in for Frank Martin. Here he is with the defense as they dump it inside to Yarborough, and he gets hacked going up. There's Rodriguez, and Stan, that's one of the questions. Jacob Poland controlled so much for this team last year, not only as the leading scorer and ultimately K-State's all-time leading scorer, but the ball was in his hands for almost the whole game, it seemed like. Who's going to be the guys, and can they step up and lead Spradling and Rodriguez in the backcourt like Poland did?
It's nice to see the development of Will Spradling. The work he got last year means Will is ready to take the point guard position if the Wildcats need it. But they would love to have some versatility and give Angel Rodriguez minutes, which allows Will Spradling to attack opponents from other positions on the floor as well. And obviously, you're not going to leave one guy out there. So those two guys will be the main players. You might use Martavius Irving a little bit, but the development of Angel Rodriguez is one thing we want to watch today.
Another freshman, Diaz, with the turnaround, and he gets the roll. Nice looking turnaround jumper. As K-State's freshman Miami connection works it there, the assist going to Rodriguez.
If you notice early, this post move by the big guys and scores have come from further away from the basket than you've seen the Wildcats score with their post players in a while, so that's encouraging.
Rodriguez gets caught on a pick there, but the three-point jumper from Dreiling is an air ball. And a hold inside. Rodriguez turned heads in the scrimmage that was open to the public a week ago Saturday, going 3 of 3 from the arc. And the 14 foul on Fort Hays State. Foul is on McKenzie, his second.
And we're seeing a little bit of the versatility here for the Wildcats. Only one starter, Rodney Magruder, is out there right now.
Magruder around the pick, just a bit short on the jumper and out of bounds off of the Tigers.
Well, there's an example, even though the shot did not go down, where Rodney is more comfortable on the move. That's part of the development of being a better player, investing in the offseason and working on aspects of your game, and he's not fighting that knee injury that he did last year, which allows him to move side to side so much quicker.
Magruder out as Gibson returns along with Henriquez. Irving at the elbow. Here's Rodriguez, sets himself, and he hits.
He said that's how Jacob Poland did it last year, so why shouldn't he run the offense that way?
So a good start for Rodriguez, who buries his first jump shot in a Wildcat uniform. Biggest lead of the half at 15-7 now for K-State. Here's Yarborough trying to back his way in. flipped inside to McKenzie against the trees and shuffled his feet.
Angel Rodriguez is going to make a move to the outside. See this setup right here? He is going to get out here and get an open shot. Good pick. And then he slides. He's actually the one setting the screen and then sliding off of it. We've seen it twice today. Will Spradling one time shooting a three-pointer at the top of the key, and this time Angel Rodriguez from the wing.
Oh, nice catch. Anojale just missed it on the reverse, and Henriquez makes it a 10-point lead.
That's power basketball right there. Those three big guys almost under the net, making passes, rebounds, and shots.
You see the rebound margin already at +6. Fort Hays State so undersized here today. They will have a tough time for 40 minutes trying to match up with K-State, and the quickness of the Wildcats forces another turnover there.
It's a second straight travel by Karan McKenzie, so just a little hurried leads to a travel and a turnover, and it's been a problem so far. And the impressive thing is you see the numbers right there is K-State has not turned over the basketball yet.
Spradling returns, and now you'll see both Spradling and Rodriguez in the same backcourt, which will be fun to watch.
And the ball's being thrown in, and Will Spradling's at the other end of the court getting ready.
Irving also in there, so a smaller look here with 3 guards along with Gibson and Henriquez.
K-State's very willing to play with a pretty small and fast lineup. Guys like Rodney McGruder allow you to do that because they rebound like they're a much bigger player.
Easy catch over the top for Jordan, and he lays it in. He's got 5, the lead is 12.
How about that, 5 points already? If he brings an offensive game to that great shot blocking capability, he'll be a force.
Jordan had some big games last year as the Wildcats won 23 games and finished 3rd in the league. Had 14 against Missouri, his season high, and then 10 in the win here against Kansas, going 5 of 7 in that game. And off to a nice start here with 5 points, and K-State leads it by 12, 19-7.
Verizon 4G LTE, America's fastest and most reliable 4G network in over 160 cities. Verizon, built so you can rule the air.
Without it, tall kids would just be tall. Naismith, just a name. There'd be no madness in March, no alley-oops or half-court buzzer beaters. And Cinderella would just be a bedtime story. Without oil and natural gas, our lives would be missing many of the ordinary products we depend on every day, and some that make life extraordinary. A message from Kansas Oil and natural gas producers.
Back at Bramlage, K-State up by 12. Frank Martin talks often about developing a winning culture in your program, and he's done that with guys like Danny Clemente leading Jacob Pullen, showing him how to do it, and then Pullen showing younger guys like Rodney McGruder. Here's McGruder on what he learned from Jacob Pullen.
What I learned from Jake is the way he took over games and his leadership ability on the court, you know, so I just watch that and learn from that and try to put that in, incorporate that into my own game on and off the court, you know, with leading younger guys and things like that.
.11:40 left to go, first half, all Kansas State as Rodriguez brings it into the half court. Same 5 out of the timeout for Frank Martin. Henriquez with deep position again, leaves it short that time.
Didn't get the ball high enough off the backboard, but it was a nice move right there. He's really in rhythm on that offensive set.
Simmons took an extra step, and the Tigers turn it over for the 5th time. Game day starts at Varney's. All K-State fans should check out the new customer rewards program at varneysrewards.com. It's free, and you'll receive great discounts from Varney's and its partners. That's varneysrewards.com. Gibson. It's called for a hook here, trying to get post position on Simmons. That's 2 on Thomas.
He's going against the one veteran player that's available to Fort Hays State, and that's Matt Simmons. So Simmons good at using angles and trying to force him into an illegal move, and that time he hooked with his right arm and got called for it.
So Gibson out, Nino Williams is in. As for this bench, it just keeps coming at you. Nino, who missed last year, had some concussions early on during practice, played in 3 games, but then ended up redshirting the season.
A guy I'm really excited to see because he was around the program all of last year and knows a lot about what it takes, but we really haven't seen him on the court yet.
Well, he'll no doubt earn some minutes. He is a talented player. Inside, a foul. As K-State didn't rotate defensively, and this will go against Jordan Henriquez.
Correction, foul is called. 1, Shane Southwell.
Actually, they'll change it now to Shane Southwell.
Shooting 2 for Fort Hays State, number 21, Lance Russell.
Lance Russell, he had an injury last year as well. He played a couple of games like Nino Williams did, and then he ended up with a medical red shirt. So after transferring from Cowley County Community College in Kansas, he is a redshirt junior now from Wichita.
Not only did the Tigers lose their top 4 scorers from last year's team that was ranked as high as 3rd in the country, but their 2 best returning players are out. Ben Conjusta out for the year with a shoulder injury. And then Moses Dye has got to sit out this semester because he's only got 1 semester of eligibility left.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing in Division II. When you count the semesters up, they say he has 1 left, not 2 semesters, and you get to pick which semester it is. You don't have to go in order, the fall semester, and then he's done. So they said, no, it's more important for him to be here in the spring semester, so they don't have him to run the point guard position.
McDade on the miss. Here comes Irving in transition. Frank Martin talked about the speed and athleticism, and we saw it on both ends there.
When a program develops, you got guys who quietly get better that you don't count on so much. And Martavius Irving is one of those guys that is experienced now, and he still has room for improvement. That is an aggressive, across-the-lane move. We haven't seen him make a move like that very much. Nice job. He'll continue to improve and help the Wildcats as well.
Stan, a lot of the talk in the media about K-State, they're picked 6 in the preseason poll. A lot of the talk is, well, there's no Jacob Pullen, there's no Curtis Kelly, but you start digging a little deeper here and start looking at the minutes played. K-State's got 6 players back who averaged at least 12 minutes per game, and there's a look at the preseason poll. Only Missouri, A&M, and Baylor have more minutes returning. So this team's a little more experienced than most would think.
Yes, and especially when you look at it relatively, like you're saying, this is a conference that has a number of players, a lot of turnover, and so experienced players coming back in the Big 12 is really not the story of this conference. Which players are going to come together and put it together? And K-State's got a lot of guys that may have not been Jacob Pullen, the all-time leading scorer, but still have significant minutes for a very successful NCAA tournament team.
Irving in rhythm, just misses on that 3-point try.
It's a nice place to start when you just have raw athleticism, some basketball skills, and then you can fill in experience around them.
The steal, Irving to the other end, reverses it in off the glass.
That's something you might do in practice for fun. You wouldn't do in a game unless you got turned that way, but he did with a shot block. The strength of keeping the ball in his hands allowed him to keep the shot alive, but then turning his back, was able to throw it in.
Crowd into it now as K-State's defense has been pretty solid here in this first 11 minutes.
Okay, watch Martavius Irving here on the replay. Good overplay, we've talked about that. pressing it down the court. He gets all the way to the rim, and the ball is hit hard enough that it throws him off, turns his body away from the basket. He says, well, I got to get it up on the board and see if I can get a rebound here, or 2 points off the backboard.
Magruder now back in. Here's McDade driving in and dumps it off to Matt Simmons, who has his first 2.
Good finish by Matt Simmons there in the lane. We've seen some nice passes at times from the Tigers, but we haven't seen people finish.
Stop and pop for Spradling as Fort Hays State loses him, and he's got 7.
I just have a feeling when I watch Spradling play that we're watching the same type of progression that I saw with Steve Henson in the late 80s into the early 90s, from a very good player that helped out early in his career to then developing into a big-time scorer.
I don't disagree. We saw a lot of those traits on display as a freshman last year. The kid can flat out shoot the ball. He, as a sophomore, wants to be a leader on this team along with Magruder.
If you go back and study and research K-State basketball, Elite 8 team in 1988, Henson had developed already, but go back a year earlier when he was a freshman, and he was just a facilitator, and he would just get the ball up the court, shoot great free throws. He was not a dominant player. He was surviving and fighting, and that's what Will Spradling did for K-State last year. But by his second year, he was a big-time player on a big-time team. And then when a lot of players graduated, the Mitch Richmonds of the world, then he turned into a leader who could score, like Jacob Poland could score last year. And now all we remember is, hey, this guy, every time he went to the free throw line, he buried teams at the end, made 90% free throws. Oh, guess what Will Spradling's going to be able to do in his career? Go to the line, hit 90% of his free throws. It's exciting to see the blueprint being played out by Will Spradling.
Well, you heard Frank Martin talk about it during the preseason. He said, hey, when Will and Rodney played well last year, we beat everybody. And you look at a guy like Spradling, who was in double figures 7 times. K-State was 6-1 in those games. Didn't have to score a whole lot at all last year, but when he buried shots, K-State was awful tough to beat. There's some of the athleticism that Mark Johnson likes from Lance Russell.
Yeah, good up and under move, because K-State's been blocking shots, but he held the ball longer and was able to slice through there.
Count it, and the foul. Spradling to Magruder on a 3-pointer.
You know Rodney Magruder can spot up and shoot, and he does it before Jason Ball gets there.
That'll send us to break. K-State on a roll as Magruder buries a 3.
The Audio Junction is the leader in home automation, home theater, and luxury appliance. Learn more about our Control4 home automation setups for both new and existing homes. With Control4, your lighting, security, entertainment, and even climate settings are all controlled through one easy-to-use interface. When it comes to home theater, the Audio Junction carries equipment from more manufacturers than any other audio-video dealer in the area. To learn more or see any of these products in action, visit us at our showroom on 4th and Leavenworth in downtown Manhattan.
I'm Justin. I have reindeer antlers growing out of my head. What are the odds? 1 in 4 billion. So, I think I'm a cinch to win the Holiday Millionaire Raffle.
The Holiday Millionaire Raffle from the Kansas Lottery. Only 150,000 tickets will be sold. Crazy great odds to win $1 million. Get it, Justin? $1 million bucks?
Ah, bucks. Because I'm like a male deer. Yeah, I get it.
The Kansas Lottery. It could change everything.
If you missed the Dan Patrick Show, you've missed this.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
It is gone. Woo! Breaking sports news.
Went to Dallas to cover the Super Bowl and the X Games broke out.
High-profile athletes and celebrities.
Charlie Sheen.
I love every cell of your perfect body. What's not to love, Dan Patrick?
And, of course, the Danettes. Yeah! The Dan Patrick Show. Weekdays. Check local listings.
Will Spradling and Kansas State up 30-13. We talked a little bit about his overseas experience this summer. Well, here's what Spradling had to say about that trip and what he learned from it.
It was a totally different world over there. I mean, we drive by farms and they're still using horses to pull the plows. I mean, people are walking around with no shoes on. It was different. It was really different. It really made me like care about what I have here and not take anything for granted.
Thoughts from Spradling there. And, well, what a great experience for a youngster. And as we said, was the MVP of that 7-game tournament over there. His team went 6-1. He had a couple of 20-point games, and he's already got 7 here this afternoon.
At Kosovo and Macedonia, places in the world that are a lot different than Mid-America.
So the foul was not on the shooter, it was inside, so the 3-pointer counted, and K-State got the ball back. Magruder trying to make it a 6-point trip, but misfires on that 3-ball.
We've seen a lot of players out here for the Wildcats, 10 different guys. Ben, there's some more to come that haven't seen action yet.
Magruder there, yeah, we haven't seen Jeremy Jones, who may be the fastest Wildcat, or Omari Lawrence, a transfer from St. John's. Adrian Diaz has 4.
And James Watson, I believe, so. Coaches are as excited to see them as the fans are to look at the different combinations and see how they'll act here in competition with officials and actual game situations.
Dreiling on the move. Fight inside, saved by the Tigers into Russell. He goes up and is fouled.
The expectations for Fort Hays State are so high. They've made it to the 2nd round of the NCAA tournament the last 2 years. They finished 2nd in the MIAA in regular season the last 2 years. And like you said earlier, won the tournament last year for the first time ever. So they have a high level of playing that they expect. And with all these new guys, you wonder how they're going to do. And you got to be impressed with Lance Russell getting his first time to play significant minutes this year. After only playing those 2 games, has shown some good things. I think Matt Simmons has looked good at times. So there are some sparks from this Fort Hays State team.
Of course, Mark Johnson's taken the Tigers to 2 straight NCAAs and 3 of the last 4 years.
5 total. He's in his 11th year for the Tigers. And they're not a zone team, but against this bigger Wildcat team and the run the Wildcats have made on them, they're showing zone for the first time today.
Over to Irving, who rises up for 3. Henriquez owning the glass inside, and he is fouled going up. 4th rebound of the half for Jordan.
Trying to get a body on a body is a little harder when you're in the zone defense, and then when you're going to get to 7-footer on the offside, it's more likely where the ball's going to go than any place else. And Enriquez Roberts, too big and too good a position, gets the rebound and gets to go to the free throw line again.
Of course, the Wildcats stand a year ago leading the Big 12 at better than 14 offensive rebounds a game, and looks like they've got the guys to do that again this year.
Yeah, because Jordan's size is always a factor. But now he is getting better on the offensive end. He's been better on the defensive end in the past, blocking shots, getting rebounds there. But as he becomes a better offensive rebounder, you add that to Rodney Magruder, who has an unbelievable knack of knowing where the ball's going and jumping to the peak of his jump to grab the basketball. Okay, so he's going to be good again in offensive rebounding.
Sean Dreiling, step back 3. McKenzie fighting for it. Rodriguez comes out of there with it. Oh, nice pass back to Magruder. Got his feet set, and he bangs it home. Excellent work in transition there between Rodriguez and Magruder.
That's what the freshman needs to recognize. Where do you want to get each player the basketball? And that time he recognized that he needed to get the ball quickly to Rodney Magruder in that spot.
Ball trying to step through, gets tripped by Martavius Irving. Get your tickets now for the Hy-Vee Wildcat Classic as K-State takes on preseason top 20 ranked Alabama at Sprint Center on December 17th. Call 1-800-221-CATS or visit kstatesports.com. The Hy-Vee Wildcat Classic is presented by Subway and sponsored by Commerce Bank. K-State with an interesting non-conference schedule. You've got that game against Coach Martin's good friend, Anthony Grant. They'll play Bob Huggins in Wichita, as well as a road trip to Virginia Tech, and then the tournament in Hawaii over Christmas. So A lot of challenging games for the Wildcats to develop their NCAA resume here in November, December.
Yeah, star point guard Trevor Rello for Bishop Miege High School in Kansas is the leader as a sophomore of the Alabama team. And getting Bob Huggins back in the state seems like a rare gem. Like, how great is that? Except for West Virginia is now going to be part of the Big 12, so this is going to be a normal thing. Here you see Angel Rodriguez's ability to get to the rim. He feels very comfortable driving, and we talked about those offensive rebounders. Enriquez with the size goes back to the line, and Rodney Magruder with the timing was tipping the ball around as well.
Yeah, as if 18 conference games aren't enough. The West Virginia game, it's kind of a conference game, isn't it?
Yeah,
of course, the Big 12 going.
But when you look at the style, Frank Martin and Bob Huggins, they've sat in rooms together so often. They just love basketball, and when they're on the road getting ready for games, that's what they want to talk about is basketball. So to watch them go against each other with the same style and philosophies is going to be really a treat.
Wave off the basket as a push called on Victor Ojale. Enriquez struggling from the free throw line. But yeah, 18-game schedule now in the Big 12 this year. Home and away games. Only conference that will do it this year among the Big 6 conferences.
That's one of the challenges, I think, of having a 10-team conference. You like playing everybody home and away. I really like that aspect of it, but 18 is such a burden on the coaches and the players, and it takes away some flexibility for other non-conference opportunities. The more and more you play 18 games, there are less and less you're going to be able to do other scheduling. So if you get back to 16 one way or another, one of the advantages is it's really long enough in the regular season, and then you can still play tournaments or other big-time competition.
Rodriguez in the corner, 2 for 2 for the freshman. He's got 6.
We've seen him drive to the basket with confidence. He didn't finish it, but boy, had that ability with the knockdown threes, and you see what this young freshman can do.
McKenzie unable to finish the reverse. Nice crossover and the kick out. Jeremy Jones too strong and rebounded inside by Simmons of Fort Hays State. Blocked from behind Jones with his foot on the gas. Rodriguez gets fouled and hits.
Kendrick Morris gets a piece of Angel Rodriguez, but one thing you see here is the speed of number 24, Jeremy Jones. That's what he's known for. Watch him sprint down the court, passing people up, and then make a nice pass. Good pump fake, reload, just a little bit on the elbow, and Rodriguez has a chance for a 4-point play. That pump fake, dribble to the side, that's what you work on in practice for developing players who really want to take their game to another level. To expect a freshman to do that this early is pretty amazing.
Go to PowerCat.com and PowerCat Illustrated, our K-State fans' unmatched sources for news, recruiting coverage, and analysis of the Wildcats. Try a 7-day free trial at Go PowerCat or subscribe to PowerCat Illustrated. Rodriguez, born in Puerto Rico, ranked as the number 4 recruit coming out of Florida. And a lot of comparisons because he is from Puerto Rico and played high school ball in Florida. A lot of comparisons to Danny Clemente, and he'll develop into his own player. He's not a blur like Clemente was, but you can see his ability to shoot the basketball, and his feel for the game is obvious already here in just these first 15, 16 minutes as a Cat.
Yeah, as you watch his play unfold, you wouldn't spend a lot of time comparing him to Danny Clemente, because Clemente's game was all about speed and that tenacious attitude, but he had to work on his shot, pick his moments. What we're seeing here from Angel is not the speed, but a greater capability to just spot up, shoot shots, and make moves on the outside. He doesn't have to just be flying to the basket. 2 different type of players, but both look like they could be effective Wildcats. We know Danny Clemente was.
30-second timeout.
Good pressure there from Omari Lawrence, who's checked in. The 6'3" sophomore from the Bronx and Fort Hays State uses up a timeout, down 41-16.
K-State, since leading 10-6, is on a 31-10 margin differential. They've really hit the gas pedal and played well throughout most of this first half.
Get the latest in K-State football each week. Catch the K-State football Bill Snyder Show. It's Sundays at 10:30 p.m. on Fox Sports Kansas City. 41-16. All Wildcats. Runner in the lane, no good by McDade as the offensive struggles continue for the Tigers.
They got a good ball screen at the top of the key and a real opportunity, just didn't go.
Omari Lawrence, the left-hander, unable to finish inside. Here's Tyrone Phillips. Tipped up and good by Matt Simmons.
Matt
Senior
Simmons
from Great Bend.
He'll just continue to work. That's what he's known for. He likes to just battle down low, take what's given to him, and that was a nice tip.
Williams has it knocked away, and that'll send us to a timeout. 41-18. K-State on a roll here in the first half.
They sacrifice, they protect, they answer the call at all times. They are the men and women of our armed forces, and their will, heart, dedication, and service to the country that we call home is nothing less than extraordinary. Return the favor. Text the word return to 90999 now for your $10 donation, or simply visit returnthefavor.org. Please join us in returning the favor.
This is Jacob. Last week, he made the soccer team. He also makes cereal for his little brother every morning. He also washes the car, but probably should have rolled the windows up. And even though it's really hard, he's been very patient with his big sister. This is Jacob's dad. He left for Afghanistan almost a year ago. Behind every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, and Coast Guardsman, there is a family that also serves. Every day, these moms, dads, and kids step up to support our troops and our country. Now, it's our turn. Thanks for holding down the fort, Jacob.
Let's all join forces and show our thanks by visiting joiningforces.gov.
All K-State here in exhibition play so far. Wildcats on top of Fort Hays State 41-18. Frank Martin in his 5th season already with 95 wins. Stan, as we look at his year-by-year record here, better than 21 wins each time.
And if you go back one more year when he was the assistant to Bob Huggins, it's 5 straight years for the Cats to finish in the top 4 in the Big 12 Conference. They've gone to the postseason 5 straight years, and the NCAA tournament 3 of the last 4. And one of the things I really think is important about Frank Martin is making the NCAA tournament is significant. Congratulations. I like winning games to prove you are definitely one of the better teams that you just didn't make it in. Some, by decimals in the NCAA tournament. RPI, go out and win a game, and he's done that each of the 3 years he's took his team to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, including the trip to the Elite Eight a couple of years ago. When you look at those numbers a little bit deeper, you look just at conference games. He's won 40 conference games in those last 4 years. That's 3rd best in the league behind Kansas and Texas. So he's established this program among the elite, not only in the Big 12, but in the nation over the last 4 years.
And the capability to take his team on the road and win basketball games is really a strong indicator of how well his team is playing and has played during his 4 years as the head coach, now in his 5th year with the Wildcats.
16 wins against ranked teams in 4 years. Of course, he's beaten #1 on Big Monday here in Bramlage each of the last 2 seasons. Kansas last year, Texas the year before that.
16 wins against ranked teams, ties Tex Winter, and is only 6 behind Jack Hartman in number of wins against ranked opponents.
Free throw shooting's been about the only negative so far for Kansas State. Lawrence, lead pass to Jones. He's got nowhere to go with it. And and we'll head the other way, give it back to Fort Hays State. There's Lawrence, just a sophomore, played as a freshman at St. John's. He's out of the Bronx, New York.
He was enrolled at Cloud County last year, but didn't play basketball, did not use up any of his eligibility.
Russell turns the corner on a nice give and go to Simmons. One of the better offensive trips for the Tigers in this first half.
You can see instances where Fort Hays State makes some plays, and this time they not only make a good pass, using the left hand, Matt Simmons is able to get the ball off the backboard before three Wildcats converge. Nice play by Matt. A lot of pressure on Matt Simmons right now because he's really the only returning player that Fort Hays State has. He's really trying to talk to the other players out there on the court and get them in the right position as they learn to play this system.
Magruder and Spradling return for the last couple of minutes. Double team there, but a foul. And this will be the 10th team foul. Hopefully Will's okay. He went down pretty hard, holding his shoulder.
Fort Hays State team foul number 10.
Trainer Brandon Yoder will take a quick look at Will. Hey, the Veterans of Foreign Wars Foundation has teamed up with K-State Athletics to encourage fans to return the favor to our military, veterans, and their families. We're asking K-State fans to help our troops by texting the word return to 90999 to make a $10 donation to the Return the Favor campaign.
Kansas State substitution is number 3, Martavius Irving.
So Irving will come in for Spradling.
At the line to shoot 2 for Kansas State number 21.
As Brandon Yoder continues to look at Will.
A lot of concern in the arena, obviously, with the way Will Spradling can play.
And of course, Fort Hays State gets to choose the shooter, and they'll send Jordan Henriquez there. He buries the first one.
Let's see what happened. Matt Simmons jumps out.
One time.
It's really hard to see what exactly happened to his left shoulder. He was leading with his right, but his left shoulder is the one that comes up injured. The veteran play by Matt Simmons. Even though he got the foul, he read the play correctly, and he was trying to stop the handoff.
Tigers trying to spread the floor. Nobody on the low block. There's a pickup high from Morse with Ojale on him. Now breaks him down, gets to the hole, but puts up a wild left-handed shot. Another rebound for Jordan Henriquez.
The Tigers are using a little ball screen action now with all 5 out, trying to find some openings against the K-State defense.
Good overplay there by McDade. Nearly forces the turnover in the drive by Lawrence, and he is fouled. This will go on McDade.
Foul is called on the Tigers, number 1, Omar McDade. His first
2 shots for Omari Lawrence.
Shooting 2 for Kansas State, number 12, Omari Lawrence. Tiger substitution is number 4, Sean Riley.
K-State just 3 of 11 from the free throw line.
One time.
Hopefully the Wildcats can break that trend from last year when they shot just 65.5% on the season. Second one up and good.
And last year they buried themselves with real poor free throw shooting at the beginning of the year. Then went back to normal numbers to finish off the season, but the average ended up being low.
Magruder stepped in to draw the charge. Coming up at halftime, if you haven't seen the cover of the K-State Men's Basketball Media Guide, then you're in for a real treat. The 4 faces of Frank Martin coming up at halftime.
The players have seen all of those many times.
There's actually more than 4 faces.
Yes, they've seen all of those 4 faces. They're probably flipping, looking further and deeper into the media guide, going, where are the other ones? There are a few others that he's shown us.
Shooting 2 for Kansas State.
Cats draw another foul. This will send Vic Ojale to the free throw line. Now a senior. Hard to believe he's a senior. Out of Ottawa, tremendous leader and young man on this basketball team.
He does all the little things right, and K-State's had players like that during the Frank Martin years. And that's not only off the court, he is such a strong academic performer. He really tries to pull the other guys up, and as a walk-on, just trying to inspire them with sayings and different ways of making everybody better. And then he doesn't mind stepping out and being a little athletic and helping the team win as well.
Cats a little better from the line here down the stretch, pushing the lead now to 46-20. Diaz with the long reach forces the turnover, and Irving comes up with it. About a second differential between shot clock and game clock. Although K-State may not be real concerned with that right now, as they are just running offense. And on the jumper, Irving is off target. Final bullet of the half here for Fort Hays State, maybe. Magruder from half court, just off target. Well, a good first half offensively for Kansas State. Shooting nearly 50%. Angel Rodriguez leading the way for the Wildcats with 9 points, all on 3-pointers. And here's Stan with head coach Frank Martin. News as we begin the second half. There's Will Spradling, who hurt his shoulder there toward the end of the first half, but he's back to start it here as K-State has possession. Spradling joined by Irving, Magruder, Henriquez, and the freshman Thomas Gibson. Out of the pinch post, Gibson spins one in with the left hand, and he starts the second half the same way he did the first.
Good penetration under control, but the use of the body at the end was so important. He is so wide that he kept the defender away from him as he worked right at the basket, having his left hand available for the easy shot.
Henriquez with a foul first on Will Spradling.
Watch Thomas Gibson work. When he works up in here, when he gets right here, he's going to keep the defender over here, which allows him the easy shot with the left hand. The defender's all over him, but no chance. He keeps his body in a position that the defender is not going to get to the basketball, and by pushing himself into the basket area, he got exactly where he wanted to with the left hand. That is a real nice move by the big guy.
9th rebound already for Henriquez to go along with 7 points. He's looking at a double-double this afternoon.
K-State running off the high post now.
Fed to Irving. Gibson with the assist.
Run some of that pinch post offense that they ran the latter part of last year.
I think it was the Texas Tech game when they introduced that, after the Cats had dropped a couple of conference games to begin the year. And, well, they rolled Tech that afternoon, had 25 assists, and then K-State saying, well, they just went on a tear toward the end of the conference season. After a 2-5 start, they won 8 of their last 9 games, including their last 6 conference games.
And what made that so amazing was the fact that they lost a heartbreaker against Colorado before they started that run. A late Saturday game, heartbreaking loss. Magruder makes the winning shot, except for it comes slightly after the buzzer. K-State travels home with a loss and has to play 2 days later against Kansas on Big Monday. And yet they started the winning streak by beating KU more soundly than they have at any time under the Frank Martin regime.
Working inside is Yarbrough, who draws the foul. Yeah, that win started a run of 6 straight in conference, including a road win at number 7 Texas and a home win against number 20 Missouri. Of course, then in the NCAA tournament, the Cats beat a really good number 11 seed in Utah State before running into Wisconsin.
Two losses in NCAA tournament play against Wisconsin. So Kansas State's met up with them in the second round twice. And that's a very disciplined team with the bigs who can invert and shoot the ball from three.
Henriquez goes to the right hand. Gibson couldn't quite squeeze it.
Aggressive offense there by Jordan Henriquez, but not with a purpose. Just trying to get it up and throw the ball up at the rim. You're not going to get good results if that's your approach.
Lance Russell open and buries the three. He's in double figures with 11.
Good ball movement in the motion offense by Fort Hays State, leading to that open shot.
Gibson with room to work. Oh, nice touch. 8 for Thomas Gibson.
It's a big time post move because you can get the ball to that spot. There is hard work to do with a defender between you and the basket unless you got a jump hook or a hook shot in your repertoire.
Russell charging into Irving. Great help side D by the veteran Martavius Irving. Frank Martin applauds the defensive effort that time.
Watch his spin to the right shoulder. You're going to score the ball against most big men with that move there.
Good elevation for Gibson. 6'7", 275. Just think what he looks like, what he's going to look like after a year working with Scott Greenawalt.
He's big and strong, but he may weigh 275 and have even more muscle and speed.
Cutting inside, the eraser. Henriquez gets another block.
That was a very well-timed block.
Spradling in traffic. Now Gibson with a jumper. Rebounded by Marcus Yarborough.
That's good offense, though.
Kicked out to Dreiling for three. His first.
That's a good fast break by the Tigers.
And a whistle on Morse. Ojale and Rodriguez set to check in, and Omar McDade will come in for the Tigers. 16:46 left.
Good job, Kendrick Morris, the new point guard. Draws three defenders to him in the lane and kicks it out perfectly in the shooting pocket. The pass comes to Sean Dreiling, who knocks down the open three-pointer.
Bounced inside, Henriquez. Now out to Irving.
K-State played against Fort Hays State in a regular season game in the 2009-10 season, December 1st, and K-State won by only 7 points, and it showed you what that Fort Hays State team could do. It was a real veteran group that had scoring capabilities. To see them transition completely from that group of kids who graduated last year to this team, there are all kinds of questions of what kind of team would Fort Hays State have, and they're showing us a few things. I think they're going to be better than most think.
So a shot there of Scott Greenawalt, K-State's head strength coach for basketball. Tipped away, Magruder quickly runs it down. Break opportunity now with Rodriguez running the show. And he's hammered going to the hole.
Nice stop and go move.
Number 33 of the Tigers, Matt Simmons, has called for his third.
Marcus Yarborough started the game off strong, but it's been a little quiet recently.
Shooting 2 for Kansas State, number 13, Angel Rodriguez.
Good overplay, tip away, keeps the ball alive, and Cats are ready to run.
Rodriguez, the first Wildcat in double figures with 10.
10 different Wildcats have scored today. But he's been a marksman from the three-point line.
K-State has doubled the score at 54-27 as Dreiling brings it into the front court. Dogged there by Rodriguez. Angels got the steal and the lay-in. Yarborough just got it over the top of Henriquez.
Frank Martin not going to be happy that Fort Hays State was allowed to get down the court that quickly after a nice steal.
Yeah, the teams trade layups. Here's the steal and finish by the freshman from Miami, leading the way with 13.
Consider transforming the entire planet with just one big idea. Consider answering the call to lead the next greatest generation. Consider finding your true purpose through an exchange of ideas. Consider using your creativity to leave your mark on the world. Consider stretching your mind today to create a completely new career tomorrow. Consider Kansas State University.
Wolverine Contour Well. Tough, rugged, and extremely flexible. The kind of ruggedness you expect in a Wolverine boot, with the flexible comfort you enjoy from a pair of sneakers, and a lightweight rubber outsole that's slip, oil, and abrasion resistant, with a welt designed to flex at those critical points for serious performance. That's Contour Welt. Ultra tough and ultra comfortable.
Tuesday, November 15th on National Geographic. This man is on a one-way mission to turn full-contact jousting into the next big thing. But outside the arena, the real battle begins.
Don't forget it! My arm's broken!
These knights will take on anyone.
Back off, I'll take you on! Extra!
Knights of Mayhem. The all-new series premieres Tuesday, November 15th at 9 on the National Geographic Channel.
For America's wounded warriors, sometimes coming home can be a battle in itself. The USO provides every American a way to support our wounded warriors and their families. Join us. Visit USO.org to learn how you can make a difference in their lives.
What?
It's good to be back. The USO, until everyone comes home.
Well, a big day so far for K-State's three freshmen.
Adrian Diaz has got 4 points in only 8 minutes, working close to the basket. But Nino Williams steps in and says, I'm a new guy this year after redshirting, and then the outside shooting of Angel Rodriguez. 3 straight three-pointers, had 9 points at the half, and has continued to score the basketball here in the second half.
He's got his number and leads all scorers. 13 for him. And then you throw in Diaz and Gibson, the other two true freshmen. So those 3 true freshmen for K-State have combined for 25 of the 56 points.
Just under half of the points.
Fort Hays State will get Kansas Tuesday over in Lawrence. That'll be an exhibition game as well. Here's Russell, who leads the way with 12. Southwell got a piece of that. Rodriguez will lead the break. Lob to Ojale. And over the back is Diaz with the foul.
Fort Hays State played some good offense here. Set play. They get the ball inside to Lance Russell. He does a nice wraparound pass. This is good offense. Takes the double team, gets the ball to the big guy Marcus Yarbrough, but against Kansas State doesn't work because the rotation defense and the size, the ability to block shots is the difference between Division I basketball and Division II.
Cutting back door is Dreiling, but Russell unable to make the connection.
And then it forces you to try to make plays that you don't normally make in the comfort of the competition you're used to. You try to make a pass that isn't there, and the ball goes out of bounds. So head coach Mark Johnson saying, let's guys just play within ourselves.
Rodriguez with a nice crossover. He goes down in a heap, but looks to be okay.
Number 1 of the Tigers,
holding his left wrist a little bit. You got to take inventory after you hit the ground like that. What exactly does hurt?
You talked about the ball pressure on that last trip down, and he asked Frank Martin about what his coaching style and philosophy is. That's the first word out of his mouth. It's pressure at both ends of the floor. Pressure the rim offensively, pressure the ball defensively. K-State has forced 15 turnovers already in this one.
They want to play physical on-ball defense and then overplay all the passing lanes. Don't make any pass easy.
And that's where the speed and quickness and length that goes about 14 players deep could really show itself this year. Diaz runs the floor, unable to finish on a nice pass from Rodriguez.
And he also likes to play offense that way. Even if the team scores on you, get the ball out of the net and go the other direction, try to beat the opponent down the court. Easy opportunity there for Adrian Diaz. He doesn't make the shot, but he gets free throws.
Yeah, Frank has talked about Diaz and his ability to run the floor. He was the guy that got beat for the layup, and yet 5 seconds later, he's at the other end trying to finish. First free throw is good. K-State basketball brought to you by Verizon. Built so you can rule the air, official wireless provider of K-State athletics.
Adrian has a brother, Andres, who plays basketball as well at North Florida, and Kansas State played them last year. I think it was December 31st ball game.
Yeah, I think they'll play him again this year as well. McDade knocked away from behind. Into the hands of McKenzie is checked back in. Russell now threw it away. Rodriguez to Southwell. First two for Southwell.
Shane started 17 games, mostly in the end of the season. Victor Ojale does a nice job of defense here as they rotate around and get this ball stolen, and then Angel Rodriguez gets the ball up court. About the third time he's lobbed the ball up, and this time he finally gets a finish by Shane Southwell.
Substitutions include number 3.
Spradling will come back in to replace Shane Southwell.
55, Will Spradling.
It's a combination of guards that Frank Martin used in the first half with Martavius Irving, Will Spradling out there, and allowing the freshman Angel Rodriguez to play the point guard position.
Diaz will get a break as Jordan Henriquez returns.
Returning to the Tiger lineup, number 11, Tyrone Phillips.
K-State retains the basketball, but the coaches won't be happy with Jordan Henriquez allowing that ball to be tipped with a possibility of an offensive rebound on the missed free throw.
Wildcats right at 49% from the floor and 6 of 14 from three-point range.
Omar McDade holding Will Spradling. He's not wanting him to take off and get to his spot to shoot.
7, Tiger team foul.
Off the ball type fouls. Not very smart when you're in the bonus and Will Spradling gets a chance to walk to the free throw line without ever touching the basketball on the offense.
K-State's turned it over Stan just 4 times in this game as Spradling connects.
We watched a lot of first half action before we saw the Wildcats turn it over for a first time.
That's already 17 fouls on both teams. So prepare for some free throws here in the final 13 minutes.
There's a physicality about basketball that you're going to play with, but having played this long in an official game is something they haven't had to do. And I think you're going to see guys a little tired, reach, and do things that they haven't had to do in practice because they haven't been pushed this many minutes. Well, they practice a long time, don't worry, but it's not game action.
Floated into the corner as McDade misfires.
Good box out by Martavius Irving.
Foul on number 2 of the Tigers. Karan McKenzie
This is on McKenzie, his third, and K-State will walk to the other end for a 1-and-1.
Big foul games will not be good for Fort Hays State. A lot of new players, not a lot of depth. A couple players in the Chronicle not available. So getting in foul trouble would be a real problem.
Cats finding their range now from the line. They've hit 12 of their last 13 after a 3 of 10 start.
That's the good news of the parade to the free throw line, is K-State did not shoot free throws well in the first half, so you want to correct that problem right away.
Kicked away by Irving.
Get that there, Ken. Right here, let's go. 2, 2. Got your man. Space and tough.
We talked about Angel Rodriguez in the open, seeing how he'd play, and I think he's done a nice job as a point guard today.
Jerked down by Enriquez and into the hands of Rodriguez.
K-State trying to get set in what they're running.
Spradling trying to turn the corner. Good ball movement up to Ogilvy. Still 10 to shoot. Irving bowls his way to the glass.
Good decision making by all the Wildcats there, including Victor Ogilvy, making the extra pass. The Tigers did a nice job rotating and recovering on defense, but there still was a lane to drive the ball for Martavius Irving.
He's got 8. Had 6 double-figure games as a sophomore last year. Arcing shot by Phillips is his first bucket of the game.
There were Wildcats flying at him, but he leaned back and made a nice shot.
Knocked away, and K-State will get it.
Timeout on the floor.
Here's the drive by Irving. K-State in control, 67-34.
The Audio Junction is the leader in home automation, home theater, and luxury appliance. Learn more about our Control 4 home automation setups for both new and existing homes. With Control 4, your lighting, security, entertainment, and even climate settings are all controlled through one easy-to-use interface. When it comes to home theater, the Audio Junction carries equipment from more manufacturers than any other audio-video dealer in the area. To learn more or see any of these products in action, visit us at our showroom on 4th and Leavenworth in downtown Manhattan.
So, it's only one Diet Mountain Dew left. Love the taste of Diet Dew. Brace you for it.
We could do that.
Hold on! The whole thing! Bring it!
Diet Mountain Dew. Diet tastes better on the mountain.
This tastes so good. Show off!
Okay, listen up. Make sure everybody's got a bud for this.
There's a saying that time is a great storyteller.
Well then, here's to the next chapter.
So stand with me, brothers, and raise them high.
Because as great as this is, there's even more ahead of us. And the only question is, are you ready?
Welcome back to Bramlett H. K-State leads Fort Hays State 67-34. Watch Kansas State's offense. Will Spradling dribble penetrating the basketball, and watch how the Wildcats rotate on this offensive play. As he drives, they keep moving. You'll see the guys move here. Here, he'll take it in here and then be able to kick the ball. Fort Hays State working hard on defense, but K-State in position, moving. Victor makes the extra pass. Now they open up the middle right here. And no help defense allows him to power his way to the basket. So K-State working in a 4-out setting, looking for any openings. Even though Fort Hays State played pretty good defense, they still ended up with an open drive.
And likely not an assist credited on that play, but it was good ball movement to set it up, and K-State does have 15 assists in this game on 23 field goals. Last year, especially toward the end of the season when K-State went to that pitch post offense, really started to share the basketball. They finished 4th in the conference, averaging right at 14 assists per game.
And Will Spradling showed capabilities last year and here again where he can go full speed to the basket, and if you let up at all, he'll shoot the layup. And if you rotate your defense over, then he can make a pass while flying out of bounds, a hard, accurate pass. And now Will's back to playing the point guard, which he started the game playing, but really hasn't played that much because of Angel Rodriguez being on the floor.
And James Watson's in for the first time. 6'8" junior out of Oklahoma who played his first 2 years at Washington State. He wears number 14.
He's a good defender.
Gibson. We've got 2 freshmen in double figures. He has got a soft touch around the basket.
Line drive that time for a basket, and then he knew from that position he can also have that soft jump hook.
McDade nowhere to drive it. Over to Morse. Runs into 2 defenders and a block called on Spradling.
Thomas Gibson in the post. The lefty does a nice job of setting up the shot, and this time he goes harder off the backboard rather than a jump hook. When he had that contact, it changes his shot from the jump hook to the secondary shot. Still goes in. Thomas Gibson, good job on the offensive end.
Well, he's shown some nice footwork. You can tell he's been well coached coming in here to Kansas State. A lot of times you get some of these bigger kids and they're not very good fundamentally with their footwork, but you've seen on several different occasions as Gibson's finished shots back to the basket with the good footwork and the soft hands to go with it.
He has the post moves and he makes them with a purpose. We talked about that earlier with Jordan Enriquez one time, flailing toward the basket, just throwing it up. You're not seeing that at all with Thomas Gibson. And it does sound like Gibson with a P, because that's the pronunciation, even if you see the P on the back of his shirt. We played a lot of minutes here, and it's amazing with all the players the Wildcats have presented to the fans here that you're getting your first look at James Watson. Still some more players to look at. Watson wearing number 14, a good defensive player.
Magruder will return to replace Jeremy Jones. Frank Martin greets him with his hands wide open as he allowed Morse to get to the basket.
There you go, working the post again.
Skipped over to Martavius on the pull-up. He likes that shot but leaves it short. Gibson, weak side, has 12.
Good body positioning again and strength with his fingers to pull the ball away from the Fort Hays State player.
And it's not like Yarbrough is a small man that he's been banging inside there with much of this game. I mean, he's 6'8" and probably almost about as big as Gibson.
Yeah, just positioning on the outside rebound, banging with each other, then holding the ball, pulling it away. Those are 2 big, strong youngsters.
McKenzie lobbed in. A good up fake and the finish by Yarbrough.
As shown there.
Yarbrough got the better of Gibson. Gibson quickly back with great position. Turnaround, no good. There to clean it up is James Watson. Watson played at Cowley County last year after transferring out of Washington State. Averaged about 10 points a game. Frank Martin loves his athleticism. Actually played against K-State here a couple of years ago in that old Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Challenge. K-State won that game. Watson had 6 points against K-State in that one.
That was 1 point from a career high. Well, he played well against the Wildcats, had an impression on the coaches. Say a step in there, foul on the defense. You see the arc, Ben, that, like the NBA, you have your heel on the white, and you're not going to be allowed to take the charge. It will not be a foul on the offensive player if you're on that white line or closer. And I like that. That way the players they know exactly where they are, and it's not an official's interpretation of, are you too far underneath the basket?
Phillips, ball fake. Rebounded by Magruder. Break opportunity here for Kansas State. Spradling on the run, lines up with three, won't go. Watson somehow corrals it, has it blocked inside by Yarbrough.
Looks like he has an extension of his arm to reach back and grab that rebound.
And stepping out of bounds is Fort Hays State.
Substitutions include number 21 for the Tigers.
Watching this, and it's a little right-hand shove by Yarbrough, fighting a lot of Wildcats underneath there. A little frustration, but the no call.
And number 21, Jordan Enriquez.
Says, well, maybe you better come sit by me for a little bit.
So Spradling still at the point. Ojelay's checked in. We've also got Henriquez and Watson and Jeremy Jones.
Watson's shown some good instincts on the offensive boards in the few minutes we've seen him play.
Jones comes to K-State with a reputation as a scorer. Was a third-team JUCO All-American in Seward County down in Liberal last year, averaging about 19 points a game. He's been off target on a couple of good shots so far. Henriquez will be at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. 19th foul on Fort Hays State. 7 and 10 today for Jordan.
He did not have a double-double last year. Won the year before.
Stanton, you got to think his continued improvement and development as a guy who's going to play a bunch of minutes. And it's not like he's got to come out and average 12 points a game, but for his improvement, rebounding offensively and defensively is going to be huge on how far K-State goes this year.
Yeah, and we know he can block shots on the defensive end, but what I've noticed today is his movement side to side has been better as a defender throughout that play. It's not just he's there to block the shot. He's got to deny, get in position. Oftentimes that takes a lot of quickness. And he seems to do that a lot better today than he did last year. And he still has all the size and ability to block shots. He'll be one of the best shot blocking players in the Big 12 this year, like he was last year.
Change that shot there. Fort Hays State shooting 34% on the game. K-State at 48.1. Spradling off to Jones. Watson calling for it inside, and a 3-second violation. Kansas State University's Second Wind program is designed to help former student athletes complete their bachelor's degrees without returning to campus. Contact K-State at 1-800-622-2KSU. On the pull-up, it's Phillips. That's a three, 75-43. Watson will take a three. Jones the rebound. Back to Watson down the lane and just leaves it short.
Almost role reversal for those guys.
Spradling in the passing lane. Jones with the loose ball. And Jones threw it away. Two Tigers here. The layup will go for Phillips. A little sloppy there. Frank Martin wants a timeout.
Yeah, the inexperience rears its head.
Timeout. Cats up by 30.
Welcome to your site. Your KansasStateCars.com site. The site features hundreds of new and used vehicles, prices, pictures, even video. It's all here at KansasStateCars.com. When you use KansasStateCars.com to find and purchase your next automobile from a participating dealer, you'll help support Wildcat success through K-State Athletics and the K-State Alumni Association. So what are you waiting for? Log on now and start shopping today at KansasStateCars.com. Driving the future.
Dear NFL football, you inspire us to do some crazy things to both ourselves and our loved ones. But if a fan loving his team is crazy, then pass the Bud Light and call us crazy.
Bud Light, proud to be the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Looking good, dog.
7:25 left here in Brownledge. Wildcats comfortably leading by 30. The last time these two teams played 2 years ago here in a regular season game, Cats got off to a slow start, down by as many as 10 points to the Tigers before the Wildcats turned the tables. Jamar Samuels had 21 off the bench, including this breakaway jam. And Jacob Poland, a junior back then, scored 16 of his 20 in the second half as K-State avoided the upset, 83-76.
Throwback two-tones there,
yeah,
by the Wildcats.
Not nearly as close this time around in an exhibition game. K-State has led the entire way except for the first minute or two as Rodriguez returns to run the point. Ojale lost the handle, lead pass Phillips, and count it. Timeout, 7:08 left to play, 75-47 K-State.
I'm Justin. I have reindeer antlers growing out of my head. What are the odds? 1 in 4 billion. So, I think I'm a cinch to win the Holiday Millionaire Raffle.
The Holiday Millionaire Raffle from the Kansas Lottery. Only 150,000 tickets will be sold. Crazy great odds to win $1 million. Get it, Justin? $1 million bucks?
Ah, bucks. 'Cause I'm like a male deer. Yeah, I get it.
The Kansas Lottery. It could change everything.
The Champions Series brings the titans of tennis to Fox Sports Net. See the legends lace them up in 12 one-night tournaments featuring world #1s Agassi, Sampras, McEnroe, Connors, Courier, and more. This is a phenomenal collection of talent and personality. Rivalries renewed.
Champions Series Tennis. Champions Series Tennis.
Champions Series Tennis on Fox Sports Net.
On Fox Sports Net.
Fox Soccer Plus.
And he's placed it magnificently!
Complete the experience with over 130 exclusive Barclays Premier League games, 70 UEFA Champions League matches, 73 exclusive Serie A games, and over 800 exclusive events, including the world's best rugby competitions. If you're not getting Fox Soccer Plus, you're not getting your team's complete season. Call 1-877-9-GET-PLUS to subscribe now.
Welcome back to Manhattan. Well, a familiar face has returned to help the Wildcats this year. Darren Kent, a 4-year player for the Cats, playing for 3 different coaches, but he made the most of his senior season, starting in 33 of 34 games. Kent played on 3 postseason teams, including the 2008 NCAA appearance for Bob Huggins. And Darren's in there somewhere, now a graduate student manager. There he is. Great to have him back, part of this program.
He'll really be able to help out these young players because he understands development, how much better you can get throughout the years. He was a completely different player his senior year than when he started out as a youngster. getting the coaching bug.
Rodriguez and Spradling in the backcourt. Magruder's also returned. So all 5 starters in here. Gibson and Henriquez down low. Good ball pressure here by McDade. Rodriguez splits the defender. Kick out Magruder for 3. Rodriguez wrap around to Gibson.
Thomas Gibson.
Frank Martin going to line we can rely on after a little sloppy period that lasted too long. This group appears to solidify the way they want to play ball.
Again, K-State playing without Jamar Samuels, suspended for 3 games, including today for a violation of team rules. Alley-oop to Henriquez. He's got a double-double.
Put the pass exactly where he should, and the positioning by Jordan Henriquez was perfect. He had a guy on him, but further away from the basket than where the pass was.
Right through the hands of Phillips, retrieved by Ball. Back to Tyrone. Fade away, good. He's had a nice second half. .12 now for Phillips. Him and Russell each with 12. Inside, Gibson to the right hand, won't go. And Yarborough, strong rebound. Lead pass, nearly stolen. Phillips driving into Spradling, no whistle. 6 players on the floor and a tie-up called. Will keep it at this end.
Frank Martin brought this lineup in, and it works pretty well when this lineup's next 2 baskets are the dunk variety. The last one thrown down a lot harder, but K-State getting better offense there. That time Mark Johnson, head coach for K-State, said, where's the foul? But it was a hard call to make because Will was in position.
That's thrown away for the 19th turnover. Boy, Rodriguez with 15 points, and with those last 2 assists, has 5 assists, 3 rebounds. 4 of 5 from the floor, including 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. Nice way to start it. Gibson too strong this time. Tigers want to run. Phillips open again. Gibson lost the handle.
Karan McKenzie did a nice job of pulling the ball out of there because the 2 Wildcats looked like they had it easily. And there he tips it again. This time, though, it goes to the Wildcats.
Magruder telegraphed that one. Rodriguez trying to draw the charge, but a block instead.
Ron McKenzie of Fort Hays State is keeping his effort up, getting his hand on the ball, both on the offensive and defensive end, helping out his team. Morse got the angle there, so he took the foul to try to make the shot.
Diaz, Ojale for Gibson and Magruder. K-State's out rebounded the Tigers 42-29, including 13 offensive boards.
Diaz has a big size advantage down low in the post against McKenzie.
Cats getting a look at Henriquez and Diaz in the game now for the first time together. And Spradling works against Jason Ball and picks up a foul. Double bonus, 2 free throws for Will. He can get into double figures. Rodriguez 15, Gibson 14. Yeah, 2 freshmen leading the way here. Those 2 combining for 29. Then it's Henriquez with 11. And Spradling joins them in double figures with 10.
You're going to get production from a lot of different players this year when you watch K-State. The one question is when you get into the deep competition is who's going to take the shots that are the critical shots, because Jacob Poland's been able to do that for 2 years and probably 3 years in a row. Someone else has got to do it now in critical situations.
K-State against West Virginia. Frank Martin matching up against Bob Huggins. Limited tickets remain for the Wichita Wildcat Classic December 8th at Intrust Bank Arena. Wildcat Classic is presented by GTM Sportswear.
Nice extension of the tradition of K-State trying to play a game in their region, closer to their fans, a little different environment. They've done that at Sprint Center the last few years. Now they are going to have the game in Wichita as well.
Kansas State, number 20, Adrian Diaz.
And they come up with a big one to start that tradition in Wichita.
Tickets nearly selling out in the first week. As I understand it, just a few upper levels remain for that one. So here's Diaz, who played against Angel Rodriguez last year in high school play in Miami. He averaged 23 and 10 as a senior, and he's got 7 this afternoon.
Not many shots, very efficient with his opportunities.
Good hedge. Three-pointer put up by Morse off target. Spradling comes up with the loose ball. Over to Ojale, lines up a 3 and rebounded by McKenzie. K-State was hot early from 3, but not in this second half. Now just 6 of 18 in the ball game. Phillips continues to drop short little jumpers with his mid-range game, and that'll get a timeout here with 3:26 left to go. Phillips leading the Fort Hays State Tigers with 14.
6 3-point makes in the first half. Pretty good for K-State. Nice pace, but 0 3-point makes in the second. Pep band ready to roll for college basketball.
Well, again, let's look at this upcoming schedule for Kansas State as we get started for real on Friday. We'll have it here on Fox Sports Kansas City against Charleston Southern and Loyola. That's been a good running series here the last couple of years. Of course, that was the return trip for Jacob Poland to his hometown last year, which was a pretty close and tough game against a veteran team up there. George Washington on December 1, I think, will be the first really strong test. That's a very talented team out of the Atlantic 10. And then you got to go on the road to Virginia Tech, and you know they'll be ready. That was an intense basketball game last year. Here in the afternoon, what was it, like a Tuesday afternoon on the 24 hours of hoops. Timeout here, 81-53 as we head down the stretch.
Kansas State fans, spread the word. It's time to discover GoPowerCat.com. Fair and accurate coverage of K-State sports. When every recruiting move is made, before and after every game is played. GoPowerCat.com will lead K-State fans into a new era of K-State sports. GoPowerCat.com.
Landmark National Bank's online and mobile banking services let you bank where you want, when you want. Are you having a better banking experience?
Yes, I am. I'm a busy mom. Online banking and bill pay from Landmark helps me manage my time better.
With today's busy lifestyles, these online and mobile banking services provide a safe, seamless banking experience. Try it today at banklandmark.com. Landmark National Bank. Better banking with people you know.
K-State basketball is brought to you by the Kansas Oil and Gas Resources Fund, reducing dependence on foreign oil while strengthening the Kansas economy. For more information, go to kansasstrong.com. Ben Boyle, Stan Weber back with you as we head down the home stretch here. A couple of former Wildcat guards in attendance. Chris Merriweather on your left and Clint Stewart on your right. Back to help with the K-State HD TV pregame show. So good to see both of those great guys back here representing the program. It's been a day for freshmen, Stan. Rodriguez 15, Gibson 14, and Diaz has chipped in 7.
They've really shown an ability to step right in. There has been a lull here during the latter part of the second half where there were some freshman mistakes. But for most of the game, there weren't turnovers. They were scoring the basketball and really fitting in. It wasn't as if they were taking the ball and forcing shots just to score their own points. They really played sound basketball, and that's good news. The freshmen look good to start the year. We start for real on Friday.
Spradling adds to his toll.
Returning for Kansas State, number 11, Nino Williams.
A new floor here in Bramlage as well. They redesigned it last year with the interior of the three-point circle painted in there a little bit.
Darker wood in the non-three-point shooting area. Painted lanes, purple.
Diaz nearly comes up with the steal. Simmons gets it over to McKenzie, and he drives on Diaz and scores. Good finish inside by McKenzie.
And the outside purple paint is in the octagon for the Octagon of Doom. You look right up there. Oops, sorry. Grew too quick. You got a curve on the paint on the corners. Nice architectural theme. You see up there by the official right behind him as he's walking toward that line. Most places it's just a rectangle over there.
Returning for Kansas State, number 24, Jeremy Jones.
Omari Lawrence back in along with Jeremy Jones. Tell you what, it'll be competitive in practice this week as the playing time minutes are up for grabs here for real starting on Friday. K-State really going 14 deep.
One of the advantages from the coaching staff's perspective is when you're trying to emulate the opponent, they've got the capability of doing that. You not only have your starters working and the players are going to play the major minutes, but you've got 6, 7, 8 guys who can run through, stay fresh, give you a lot of different looks. It's better when you can try to make it look as much like a game. It's one of the challenges in coaching is how do you make it look like in practice what they're going to get in their ball game. And with the competitiveness of this group, it's going to be pretty easy for the coaching staff to do that.
Casey Rodenberg, 6'7" senior from Omaha. In for Fort Hays State. Here's Irving now running the point. Off to Lawrence. Nino trying to post up. Irving all alone and buries it through. Good inside out look by Nino Williams.
That was a very good pass.
As the lead is back to 30. K-State led 46-20 at the half. Second half has not been a thing of beauty. Fort Hays State kind of hung right around about that 25 to 30 point margin the entire second half.
I'm really enjoying watching Nino play because I know how hard he worked last year, not being with the guys on the court, often with Scott Greenwald over to the side, doing drills, working on things to make him a better athlete, a better player, but not available to practice with the guys. And boy, the year is a long, long time when you're watching your friends play. So I'm happy to see him now out there with the uniform on, getting to play some real basketball.
Matt Mueller, redshirt freshman out of Rossville with a couple of free throws.
Both these teams will make playing time decisions with the practice this week and review of this game film, because both teams have a lot of players are wondering who we're going to get the minutes for.
Williams battles Mueller inside. Comes away with the rebound. He'll shoot two. Tavius will celebrate his 21st tomorrow, November 7th.
By getting to go to class. It's not fun to be old always, but that's the one good thing about being old is it's not, hey, it's my birthday, I don't have to say, well, I'm going to go to class.
Williams in the scoring column with his first. pressure. Mueller bounced inside and high up off the window for Sage Penner. Lawrence is going to drive. Jones looks for a hit, goes the other way. Jeremy Jones, count it. Chance for a three-point play for Jeremy Jones, and that's his first points of the game.
Foul is called on number 30 of the Tigers, Casey Rodenberger.
He can get his own shot. This is one of the things that he really does well. And just the speed. We speak of Denny Clemente in the days of having a fast point guard. He's not a point guard, but Jeremy can really get up and down the court fast.
It's going to be fun to watch his progress over the next couple of weeks here.
There's an example, running around the pick, trying to go on the upside, and was fast enough to get his hand on the basketball.
And he's in one of those newcomers in a battle for playing games. Highly thought of coming out of junior college.
Ryan Roletter, a walk-on, and Bishop Carroll getting time in the game.
His brother Kevin played football for K-State a few years ago. Rebounded by Lawrence. Here's Roletter. To shoot. Nearly thrown away and tipped out of bounds. They'll say it's off of Omari Lawrence last. 12th turnover now of the game for Kansas State. So they had only 4 early on in the second half. It's gotten a little sloppy down the stretch here. Inside. And knocked out of bounds off of Fort Hays State with 7 to play. 90-60. Then the Cats led by 26 at the half, and Jones will dribble out the final seconds here. So the exhibition season in the books here for Kansas State. Wildcats play just 1 exhibition game, and they'll do it for real come Friday against Charleston Southern. And it was a day where Kansas State was led by a couple of true freshmen.